What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. And guys, many of you have been asking me to weigh in on the Kevin Samuels appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast, or it's called the Fresh Fit podcast. They have a YouTube channel here. Guys who are kind of growing in the space, two brothers. I believe they're linked to Donovan Sharp, so shout out to them. They're doing their thing, and I believe they're located in the Miami, Florida area. And there's some, I think prior to Kevin Samuels appearing, I know Donovan Sharp was there. It looks like that's Rollo Tomasi, who's like considered, one of the godfathers of the white manosphere. He was in the background kind of observing. And you had like a crew of chicks who were in the podcast studio, and then Kevin Samuels called in on the StreamYard. And at some point, there is a short-haired Caucasian lady, and Kevin Samuels goes back and forth with this whole idea about fairness, okay? And what women contribute to society and what men contribute to society. Now, let me just deal with this Karen. Okay, bruh. You have a lady with this very raspy, kind of like the James Cleveland voice for women, if you will, Reverend James Cleveland. If you guys remember him, guy, and she is very delusional. Okay, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I want to start there because a lot of times we feel like it's just in the black community. No, this is a worldwide pandemic. All right, entitlement is just not a black American woman thing. It is a global thing. And a lot of you guys, you kill me with, well, women are not as entitled as they are in the black community. I'm going to go over to the white community and deal with, Karen, and deal with Rebecca, or deal with Mary Saul. Stop the show. Listen, nigga, if you grow up in America, you are entitled. That's why they call America the Matrix, okay? Why do you think guys who are in the travel communities and stuff like that it's not even just black men who travel for dates and stuff like that, or relationships. White guys are doing it. Why? They don't want anybody from America, okay? Because of the mindset of delusion. And if you listen to this lady, she's argumentative. She's masculine. She's angry. At one point, she gets up and walks away. Okay? Because number one, she doesn't understand what she's talking about from, when it comes to fairness and equality for women. All right? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. During the podcast, he was telling her, men build the world that you enjoy. Instead of her understanding that, because she's probably a no talent with, no real education or no real skill set, she wants to go back and argue back and forth, okay, about what women contribute to what they invent. Stupid. Okay, name 5 female inventors that have shaped the United States. Her response was to answer with the question. She couldn't do it. Okay, again, here's an example of women in this particular instance not knowing what she was talking about in this particular case. All right, the other ladies that are there, I won't really deal with them because they're also highly entitled and don't know what they're talking about also. But what Kevin Samuels is showing is that this is more of an American thing. This is a United States thing. And what happens is that when you give women all of these things, luxuries that they enjoy from guys, they have no understanding of how it was done, how it was built, how it was consumed, and how hard men had to work to do this. And let me tell you something, guys. Women like that one, that you have to explain things to. And you see Kevin Samuels going back and forth with her for a while. It shows me one thing. Those kind of women you cannot help. All right? They are gone. It doesn't matter if she's white. It doesn't matter if she's black. It doesn't matter if she's Latino. When you have to go into great detail to try to surmise the importance of men to a society, the conversation's over. You know, it's over. I think what Fresh and Fit was doing is they were bringing in women to have a conversation on the podcast, probably taking a page out of Kevin Samuels' book, and it does work. But like, listen, how often are we going to let delusional women who don't know what they're talking about go back and forth when we know that they don't know, many of them, what they're talking about? I think Kevin's show has shown this. It's shown me so much that I would never, and this is no disrespect to anybody, Kevin Samuels shows me how much patience I don't have to do a show like him, a call-in show. I could never do it, which is why I don't have as much money as Kevin Samuels. But guys, you have to understand this. Kevin in the Fresh Fit podcast, they're showing you something. American women in general have a lack of appreciation for men. Okay? They have drunk the Kool-Aid. The American society of today is trying to turn women against their best allies, which are men. That's why even in Africa, right? I want to show you something funny. In Africa, there's this thing going around right now called the Stingy Men's Association. It's trending all over the continent. This has nothing to do with the black manosphere, okay? Has nothing to do with the red pill environment. But do you know why the Stingy Men's Association is getting hot all through Uganda, Nigeria, and Kenya? I'm going to tell you why. Men are tired of entitled ass women. Okay? Like, a lot of you guys are really kind of, I'm not saying you're killing me, but there's this whole idea of women are not entitled in third world countries. Bro, okay? They may not be as entitled, but women are entitled everywhere. Everywhere you go. This is the mindset that I can do what men can do, but then when you get down to it, they don't want to do the work. Okay? It sounds good. Like the lady in the podcast. It sounds good to talk all that stuff, but when you come down to go out there in the morning and build, like you said, Amazonia, they're not going to do it. And we know that, which is why I don't have conversations with them about that. And I think that at some point, American men are going to have to say, look, this is a waste of our time. All right? Like, having conversations with ladies, for me, and I'm glad that Kevin does it, because he has more patience and he shows what they're thinking, and then we can honestly understand. It's a waste of my time, because you're not going to be able to get through. For the average guy who's not Kevin Samuels, you're not going to be able to get through. You're better off worrying about your damn self, not dealing with the delusion, leaving people who think like that alone. And the Fresh Fit podcast, and they're exposing this stuff. And that many ladies are on these podcasts and these internet content creation spots. They don't know what they are talking about. Not about history. They just don't. They're just running their mouth. They're just running their mouth. And you saw that evidently on this particular stream. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment pinned to the top. Check out the Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.